Hi guys! How's it going? Hi BJ. Hi Monk. Nice coming in with a big yawn from you.
Hola. How are you, BJ?
So things are gonna change a little bit for a while as far as my streams, and one of the things I'm going to do, let me actually skip this song because it's really freaking loud. Let me hold on. I love this song, but holy crap, that's a loud song. So I wanted to do something a little different with my stream for the moment. I think I'm just gonna use an avatar for a while. My home life is just really like overwhelming, and I don't know. Like I want to wear makeup and I want to like get my office clean enough, and it's just not up to my standards, and that's what's kept me from streaming the last couple days. So we're just gonna do it this way so I can stop worrying about petty things, and I can get back to doing what I love, which is streaming and doing art with you guys. So yeah, so let me start by saying hi to the new people coming in. Hi Becky and hi Dragon.
Hola, Becky. Hola, Dragon.
Yeah, so let me know if my mic is too loud or anything. I've made like a couple adjustments to it. I think I'm kind of in the red right now, am I? Am I too loud, guys?
I can only tell from Discord right now, and Discord sounds good.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
But I don't know about stream, because I am not in stream. BJ says audio seems good, and
okay.
I trust BJ.
Alright, and hi Nicholas. Yeah, so we're gonna wait a little bit to have people come in. So I was actually just talking to Monk about this. Because I'm changing the way this whole monthly myth is being done, I would actually like to like talk about the monthly myth before we jump into it, so it's a little bit more of like a learning thing as well, so we like the people that don't know the myth and haven't like looked up the myth, especially like our YouTube people, they can learn the myth with us, like so we could talk about the myth just a little bit, and then we can jump into looking at the submissions that are tied to that, so then they could kind of see the difference or how closely you followed the mythology versus just like going by the seat of our pants and learning the mythology through the drawings.
Indeed.
Okay, so that being said, I'm gonna pull up the wiki. Do we want to just do the the feathered serpent?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I read the Quetzalcoatl one, and it's a little different. I kind of like this one because it was more generalized, so it kind of gave more options and more fluidity with it. So I was just like reading the difference actually right before stream. So, Monk, I know this is your favorite mythology. I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there anything that you want people to know about the mythology?
As far as Aztecian mythology for the Quetzalcoatl, because I went with a Quetzalcoatl, not just the feathered serpent, it is supposed to be responsible for the creation of humankind. So.
Oh wow.
It's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool mythology, and when I say it's my favorite myth, it's not my favorite myth. It's my favorite Aztecian myth.
Well, that does make a difference. There is a lot of different kinds. Okay, so,
Hola, Becca.
Not to be completely boring, but, I guess, let me read a little bit from the wiki, just like the first few paragraphs. But yeah, just to give people a little bit of idea of like what it is. It says the double symbolism used by the feathered serpent is considered allegoric to the dual nature of the deity, where being feathered represents its divine nature or ability to fly to reach the skies, and being a serpent represents its human nature, which I thought was crazy. It says human nature, but what you said actually applies to this. Like, it made humankind, so represents its human nature or ability to creep on the ground among the animals of the earth. A dualism very common to Mesoamerican deities. Ooh, I don't know if I said that word right.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so this particular one is in several different mythologies, Mayan, Aztecan, and it looks like parts of Mexico, monument? I don't know, I mean, like, this is in all kinds of different ones. It looks like there's some paintings and, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try to say this word. Juzalhalaka cave? Oh my gosh. I don't know how to say that word. But yeah, in cave paintings
even. Did you copy and paste it into chat?
Yeah, yeah, you gonna try to say it?
No, I'm not gonna try to say it. I just want people to be able to empathize, because I guarantee it's written super weird if it has anything to do with Aztec lore.
So there you go. So that was also, it was also in cave paintings. Oh, and hi, Blend! Welcome in. So yeah. I guess let's jump in. Oh.
The other thing that I really like about the dragon type lore when it comes to different cultures is it's so cool for when it comes to dragon mythologies for the Aztecs, because it provides a very interesting look into how every culture had dragons despite their separation and isolation, like in terms of time and space. Like, each culture has dragons. It's awesome.
Flat Rabbit, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for the 6 months.
Hola, Flat Rabbit.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and exactly, like, the feathered serpent is definitely, it feels like a type of dragon. If you look through, like, all of the different cultures that the feathered serpent is in, I think that's why, like I said, it was so much more versatile, going with feathered serpent, and then people could choose, like, which region, and which, like, mythology they really wanted to pick from, like, if they liked Mayan more than Aztecian, or, you know, whatever. And I keep saying Aztecian. I know I made that word up, and I'm really sorry that I keep using it, but it just feels right.
That's what I've been saying. Because I don't care.
Okay. But yeah, are you guys ready to jump into seeing everybody's arts?
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready?
I'm doing well, Flat Rabbit.
Yeah, I'm doing well too. Yeah, we're just getting ready to look at everybody's reveals.
So excited!
Okay, so the first one is Autumn's, and I'm just checking to see if she put an audio to it. It looks like it is 15 seconds long, so I'm gonna go ahead and not, I'm not gonna play the audio. So, okay, let's get started. Okay, so Autumn says here, the battle with the serpent is what the title is, and it says, the young witch took a deep breath as she looked at the feathered god outside from where she was hiding in the pyramid. You can do this, she whispered to herself. Just think about Mother and imagine her healthy. That was the resolve the young witch needed, the strength to carry her feet across the floor to meet the god Serpent. She trained herself for this moment since she found out her mother was ill, and the Serpent could help. Only battle can get the god to speak to her, or not. Either way, she'll get what's needed to heal her mother. Her mentor in the magical arts, after moments' hesitation, she darts out and throws out some brutal spells. Each one looked like they hit the belly of the Serpent, but the god only gave her a little look of annoyance. After a breath of silence, the young witch heard a voice in her head. "I know why. You are here, young sorceress." The god stopped and hovered, looked straight at her. He was speaking to her with one of his many ways of communicating. "I'm here to take a feather from the great god to heal someone I love from the plague," the young witch yelled over the winds. "I know," the god spoke slowly. "A fresh feather plucked from the god will cure the plague," has been the rumor for generations. Not one warrior came back to say it doesn't work. "You're lying," the young witch said in a soft voice. "The plague will bring your mother into an eternal slumber, even with the feather." The god spoke slowly, clearly, so the witch would understand. "The fates have a destiny for you, and you alone. You need to trust and let go." "She's the only family I had left." Tears formed in the witch's eyes. "I won't even be able to be by her side to say goodbye or even hold her hand. That's a fate worse than death." "Going on this journey," the god said slowly, as if English wasn't his language, "has made you stronger, wiser, made you ready for the journey ahead. The journey fates have planned out for you." Also, the giant serpent then eased himself closer to the pyramid, wrapping his tail around it, and came so close to the girl that she could touch his nose, or sharp teeth. "Your mother knows that you love her, and that's enough for her to say goodbye. You will learn to live and forget and love, and to not hate yourself for things you cannot control. This is the knowledge I have for you, child, and now it is time for me to rest and restore." "Restore? What do you mean?" the girl asked the serpent. But before anything was said, the serpent slowly turned into ashes. The smell of sulfur filled the air as the girl fell to her knees, surrounded by the serpent's ashes. Head in her hands, she didn't know how much time has passed till she feels something like a beak nudging her. She looks up to see what looks like a small version of the big serpent in front of her. It cooed and flew around her as if hugging her. A smile formed on her face. "You came back with me, little one." "You coming back with me, little one?" The look on the serpent's eyes said yes. This time the tears that formed were happy. "I wouldn't be alone now," she thought as she and the serpents head down long flight of stairs of the pyramid to their way to their new journey, whatever that was. Welcome readers. I was actually just reading Autumn's story, and that goes with her speed painting. This is oh my gosh, Autumn, I love that you're bringing storytelling in this. I have never had the privilege of hearing any of your writing until now. I'm actually very impressed, and I very much enjoyed it. I would love to get more of your stories, and honestly, I would love to know more about this particular character and this story too. I would add that as far as the art, I'm loving this where she can touch, practically touch it, and she's standing her ground. It's a beautiful piece in your story, and it works very much with the painting as well. I like how you had curved everything here, and you've put the wings on the back of it. On the back of it, like I see. Oh, you've got 2 wings. Yeah, I just see that you've put a lot of like concepting into this character, and you've really made this character your own. So nice work. Do you have anything to add, Monk?
Yes. With the storytelling, I really enjoy that I could visualize what was happening. Like, as I closed my eyes as I was listening to Did read what was happening. And it's really important when it comes to writing an event or like an action scene where there's things moving around, for there to be a continuity of where characters are and what it is they are doing, and you did it very well. So I liked that. And then, of course, with the art piece, I just love that I love that you're such a big Harry Potter fan, and that you do what you can to incorporate that into the artwork that you do, just including your personality into the artwork that you're doing. I love it.
Okay, so let's go to see what chat said. Jesus says, "Oh, Autumn's, Autumn's nice." Let's see. It's awesome, says Flat Rabbit. Sorry, were you trying to say something, Monk?
Nope.
Okay. Blend says, "Autumn, every time I see your art, I see how much you have grown as an artist from the first time I met you until this piece. Keep it up." And Jesus says, "Nice job, Autumn. Love the pose and the colors used. Love the character in the pyramid included for scale and added story to the piece. Great job." Yeah, guys, go and check out Autumn Siegel Arts, all of her links, all of her socials, and go ahead and follow her in all of those areas. And I do believe she has a store on Redbubble if anyone's interested in purchasing any of her art as well. Alright, so let's come back here. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just pressing buttons like crazy. Okay, so I just wanted to come back here. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Press everything!
So the next piece is gonna be Becky's, but let's go ahead and say hi to the new people coming in. Lamenti Fresh, don't worry, we didn't miss yours yet. We haven't looked at it. That was just the first submission. I decided last minute that we're gonna start talking about the mythology and like letting people know what the actual mythology is about before we dive in. And we'll see how it works. I think this will be nicer, to be honest, so I'm kind of excited about it, personally.
And I just want to take a quick moment while we have breaks in between to shout some folks out.
Yes, let's do that.
Flat Rabbit streams, and they are lovely. And shout out to Jesus again for bringing his lovely peeps into here.
Yes, thank you so much for the raid. It means a lot during these streams, especially, and your patience when you raid as well.
Huzzah! And then, of course, always use the slap command just in case I missed anybody.
I know, Autumn, I love that. I love that the witch is your persona and that you've written her into this story. And welcome in, Autumn. Alright, did we get everybody? Does Lamenti, you stream? I believe, Lamenti streams, and I also believe, Autumn, are you back to streaming on, Twitch? And hi, Brad! By the way, hi, Brad. Alright. I think we got everybody. Yeah, I'm streaming at... Okay. Oh, you're streaming under this other name? I keep forgetting, you know, it's so hard when people stream under another name than they hang out. It's like so hard to network with people and stay connected when you're under different names. But I will... Here. Totally love this music list. Yay! I'm glad you like it. All right, let's jump into Becky's. You guys ready? Okay, so this one is Becky's, and this is titled Feathered Serpent, and it is acrylic traditional art. And she says, I used acrylics by starting with the basic colors and work my way to the dark to light colors. I did the outlines last, and the same with the scales with black. I do love that you took the time to draw each scale. That's really time-consuming work, but you know, a lot of us have talked about how like doing things like that are kind of therapeutical. If it doesn't drive you freaking insane. I love that you brought in like some really beautiful rainbow colors into the wings. You also drew yours with 4 wings. I feel like I'm missing something. Ooh, that's 2 concepts in a row with the 4 wings and the headdress type vibe on around the snake's head. It makes me want to look up like more of the concepts of them to see like if this is a commonality with certain like feathered serpents. But yeah, I'm enjoying this this like S shape that you have here, and I don't know what it is about this character, but he has the cutest face. Like, he kind of looks like endearing, a little derpy, but sweet. And I mean that in a very good way. Like, it's adorable. I love it. Is there anything you wanted to add, Monk?
I'm a big fan of backgrounds. I love that you did a background, and you like the mountain that's in the center. It turned out really well. That was the main part that I was staring at. I feel bad that I'm not like that my favorite part is this mountain here as opposed to like everything else. You just did such a good job on the landscape, in my opinion. I might be biased because I'm a background artist, but like that, I just like the blues and the white pale here that you chose. It's just, I'm like, I can't stop looking at it. But the other thing I like about the environment is it just really helps to draw in the scale of what he is supposed to be. Without this background, I would have no idea what the scale of this creature is. So that's another reason why I really appreciate that you did a background and an environment. And aside from me obsessing over that, I do love the colors, and I love that you are working with lighting here, because it's clear that his belly is highlighted versus the darkened backside of his neck.
Oh, nice eye.
And the darkened portions of his tail. So good job on that as well. Especially since the direction of the shadow versus highlight is in the same direction as the shadow and highlight of the environment. Okay, I'm gonna stop obsessing over the environment.
That's what you do. You draw environments, so of course, like, you're the one that has good input on environments. Me, not so much. I'm a character artist. I enjoy the characters. So, okay, so let's see what chat has to say. And Autumn says, in most art pieces, I saw 4 wings. Ah, so that explains things. Jesus says, I think that's specific. The Kalukin variation. That makes sense. So cute. Yeah. The wings, Brad says, the wings are cool. It's rare to see a dragon-type creature from above, so cool perspective. Adam says, gives me old cave paintings vibes. Let's see.
I'll read Lamenti Fresh's comment.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there we go. That's the... You missed it. It's up there. The little Yoshi.
Sorry, I had to calm my children. They were being loud. Yeah, I saw that. Like, I saw that, like, a derpy Yoshi up there. I love that you do sound effects for emotes. You're gonna cause people to start using emotes instead of actually saying anything to, like, see what kind of noise Monk makes.
I don't know what noise to make for that, Lamenti.
That's what.
There you go.
He's always menacing. Haven't you seen Space Ghost?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's Zork, yeah. Evolution says, I'm late, but made it. Becky, I really love to see how you are playing with colors. This looks awesome. Becky says, I wanted to take my time since I got over cold. I didn't want to overwhelm myself. Oh, I totally get that. No worries. And it turned out beautifully. Okay, let's see. Lamenti says nailed it. Okay, so we ready? Zeus, you gave Dead big word challenges. No! Okay. The next one is going to be Lamenti Freshes. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the next one. I don't think I'm gonna mess with trying to get back to the because I'm not switching screens. I might do an in-between screen so that we can switch screens in the future, but I'm not worried about it right now. So yes.
I'm gonna read this one.
You're gonna read this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for resubbing, Evolution! Thank you for your resub! Did I ever draw you a sub, baby? You're at 10 months. Did I draw Evolution a sub, baby?
I think it's just been that long.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, hit me up if I haven't. Yes, let's get to this next one. And, Monk, you go ahead and take the reins.
This is, again, Lamenti Fresh's piece, and we shouted them out earlier. Oh my goodness, it's freaking out over here. Ooh, sorry about that. Alright. The title is Undeath. I love the idea of an old god being undead in modern times, so that is what I'm submitting. This is my first monthly myth, so I'm super excited and I hope I can participate more in the future. I used polls in chat to decide the direction I went with this. I drew the basic idea of a snake with feathers. Chat voted on black and white with colors splash. Chat also voted on undead versus living.
Nice.
I used a Samsung Galaxy Tab S6. I cast it to my computer with the Bluetooth Connect and broadcast. What I'm doing with Twitch, I did in this 2-ish hours on my stream on a Sunday evening. I call them Sunday and Chill Art streams. I stream with my partner, Calligator, and I go by Ziadile or Ziadile. Please help me pronounce that. At our Twitch channel, I am using the Autodesk Sketchbook app, and I make Modify Experiment with brushes all the time to achieve a doodle feel. Love Lamenti Fresh, Ziadile, Epoch. I have a lot of names.
Yeah.
Ziadile. Nice. Ziadile. I love this rough, sketchy, like this intentionally rough and sketchy feel to it. It looks like, because I know it's digital, but just the way it's textured, it has a traditional sensation to it. It also, and what I mean by that is, like, in traditional, sometimes you're gonna make rough mistakes, and that there's gonna be imperfections. And the vibe I get from this is like you've just embraced whatever roughness and imperfection there may or may not be, like, while going through it, and just move on forward and still continue to make a beautiful piece of art. I love the perspective of the Aztec pyramid back there, as well as the way that you foreshortened and swirled the anatomy of this creature's tail. It's very well done. The way you chose to have the belly lined up and then it curls and foreshortens back there. It's a difficult thing to do unless you've practiced it quite a bit, and clearly you have.
Okay, would you like me to go now?
I'm done.
Okay, so at first sight, when I first saw this, I'm gonna be completely honest, I thought the swirl was the eye. I don't want you to be offended by that in any way. When I first looked at it, it actually, the undeath is actually what led me to realize that I was looking at the wrong part of it to be the eye. I actually like it both ways, to be honest. Like, I kind of liked it, like, looking at that little swirl and thinking it was the eye because it had, like, a very cartoony and, like, really adorable type feel. But when I realized it was, the undeath, looking at the skull part of the snake, it's so cool. Like, you've got, you have the snake features, but then you have, like, this, like, falling apart type look on the face, and it's just kind of just sloughing off, which is just a really cool choice, and it really adds to that undead and decaying type feel. So absolutely beautiful. I also love that you did the fangs on the outside skull, and then so, like, the gray tone is really working for you here. So I know that you said that this stuff was voted on, but I'm glad that you made these choices because it just makes it feel very sketchbook-like, but, like, in a way that the gray tones and everything like that, it adds to this decay. I also really like how you did the feathers so they looked more like fur. I thought that was a really cool touch. And I do really like the way you have its head arched down and it's an S. You know, I'm really obsessed with this particular pose when it comes to dragons, and you'll hear me say this throughout probably this whole time while we're looking at these feathered serpents. I really like that angle. Like, I really like the S angle when it comes to serpents, dragons, things like that with a long neck. I even draw them that way myself. But yeah, really enjoying this position. I also like that you put in a background. I love that perspective and like showing like how large it is and everything. So beautiful work. Definitely beautiful work, and I would love to see more submissions from you, and I definitely look forward to it. Okay, so let's move to chat and see what people have to say. Flat Rabbit says, I like the texture in this. The background is so soft. Jesus says, oh, I love the skull. The headdress is awesome, and awesome pose. Yes, that pose, right? Blend says, oh wow, this looks so great. I love the kind of lonesomeness in this image. It reminds me of the hollows in Bleach. Ooh, and the backgrounds came out amazing. I love the hollows in Bleach. It definitely has that vibe for sure. Evolusia says, great combination. I have a feeling that although spooky, he's actually cute. Yeah, I can see that. Guys, go and check out Lamenti Fresh on all of those links that Monk shared. Oh, you've got all 3 of those social links, so definitely go and give him a follow in there. I'm sorry, I said he. I assumed. I'm so sorry if I was wrong. I try not to gender names. And let's see. Yeah, no worries, Lamenti. I tried to complete a doodle in 2 hours. Yeah, I get that, Alright. So, are we ready for the next submission, guys? Did I miss anyone?
Evolution, do you still stream? Would it be alright for me to shout you out?
We can get her next time if she's not answering right
Yeah.
now. But yeah, I guess if we hear her speaking up in chat, we can try to grab her then. Okay, yeah, but let's move on to the next one. The next one is Evolucious, so we'll just have to shout her out anyway. I want to stream, so it's okay. Yay! Okay, so let's get into Evolucious. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm excited. This one is called the sorry, I am so bad at saying this one. Kakluken. And this is by Evolutia. On the ground and in the air, breathtaking and fearful. I can just guess looking into those eyes was a one-time experience. I hope I was able to show all of that and more with this version of him. I had fun on my tablet using the stylist. Can't thank enough for the motivation to keep trying again and again. I have to start off here, Felicia. This is by far my favorite piece from you. I know that you do a lot of fur and feathers on a lot of different creatures, but the way this one sits with me, I don't know what it is. It's so colorful and so vibrant, and you've just got something oh my gosh. I can't put my finger on it, but it's that contrast between the color and then you've got these whites and blacks like in the eye, and you're just kind of drawn straight into that eye. And then when you move away from the eye, you've got these radiant colors coming off of them. It's a beautiful choice, and I just love the way that you did the like feathers coming off of its head. I don't know why, to me it feels like an emotional piece. But it definitely feels like you've been spirited away by this creature. Yes, I really love that. So that's what I have to say about it. And do you have anything to add, Monk?
The I don't know if you did this on purpose or if you know how to do it. Um, but with the with the way that all of your contour lines are flowing and the combination of the colors with the blues against these yellows and reds back there. The feathers, yeah, there's a reason why red and blue is used for 3D. It's because that variation in color causes the eye to feel like that they are at different depths. And then with the flow that you gave the contours and the fact that the eyeball is not directly in the center of this square image, if you stare at the eyeball and let your eyes relax, the combination of everything that you used causes the image to look like it's moving to the left. And if everyone just takes a moment to stare at that eyeball and relax your eyes, you'll see the image moving. I don't know if you did that on purpose and knew how to do that, but you now know if you didn't know.
Wow,
So I'm just extremely impressed, especially if it was by accident. But aside from the optical illusion that you created here, so detailed and so even though this is clearly a fantasy creature, there's something about the way that you constructed it that also makes it such a believable creature. A part of me wants this creature to exist just because of how tangible you've made it. I'm done.
Okay.
Are you staring at the eyeball?
I went a little cross-eyed though. Oh my gosh, my eyes.
Yeah, it's because of the combinations of elements that she used.
I had a weird feeling looking at him, says Evolutia. Hey, there you go. Blend says, oh my god, the fluffer of a snake. And the texture of this piece is insane. And Blend says, I'm a gluten for pastels. The pastel colors. Jesus says, awesome coloration and texture. The eye looks great. And so fluffy. And Flat Rabbit says, very nice flow to this one. For sure. Alright, so I guess let's move on to the next one. Guys, definitely go and check out Evolutia at all those links. We shared her link tree. Evolutia, do you have a store in that link tree? I try to talk about the store if I know that people have one. But yeah, just let us know. Guys, go click on that link tree and definitely go and check out more of Evolutia's work and follow her in all the places.
The answer is yes, by the way.
Yes? Okay, well go buy the arts if that's what you would like. Okay, so the next one is blends. So let's jump into this, and Lamenti, no worries about being talkative. You really don't need to. We're just kind of chill. So don't ever feel bad about not talking. Lurkers are 100% welcome and appreciated, especially during the monthly myth streams, because the more eyes that are here, I think that it gets us all a little bit more excited. Look, people are looking at my art. So, yes. Alright, so let's head into the next one. Blends! Do you want to read this one, Monk?
Sure.
I'll let you start.
This one is by Catastrophic Blend, our neighborhood-friendly blend that is catastrophic. The title is The Feathered Serpent, and here goes for my first full digital illustration. This was definitely a really fun myth to do. I have learned so much using digital with this myth, including that this image is way too small.
Oh no.
And I should use inches instead of pixels when sizing my canvas. But I digress, lol. I do have to mention, or else you might miss it, I'm super proud with how the scales came out on his body. You can kind of see a lighter green slash blue on the snout and along his back. It almost looks like ripples in a pool. It gives him more of a mythical feel. Ooh, I do see that. I like that. Also, there will be a little surprise during stream that I will post the link to. Ooh!
What?
Ooh.
A surprise!
Big thank you to Dead Monk, Friend Toast, and everyone else who has kept me inspired to do art. You guys are an amazing community, and I don't know where I would be without you. My growth as an artist, a person, and a friend has been all thanks to you guys. I fluff and laugh you all. Oh, Blend.
Oh, Blend.
Blend. We love you too.
We fluff and love you as well. Okay.
Blend. This looks amazing, and I really feel bad that I missed out on the opportunity to do an Aztec feather headdress on mine because I'm so jealous of how well they're coming out on everybody's pieces. So much detail on those feathers, and I just really love. My favorite part is your choice to go with such a highly saturated palette. It really makes everything pop. I always love looking at the color choices that you end up picking, and it almost hurts my eyeballs, but in a good way. And he has sass. Like, tell me this snake doesn't have sass. I love that your personality is coming across in this. Don't slap me.
No, I totally agree with that. It's awesome. With the
a sassy snake.
Snashy. Snashy.
I'm done.
Okay, well, Blend, I have to point out some things that I'm extremely drawn to. Honestly, if you hadn't said anything about the lighting on the stomach and stuff like that, I honestly thought that this was a lighting through the trees type thing. Like he's kind of like slicking through the trees and there's some light coming through and shining on to him from the leaves. If that's not what you were going for, that's what my first interpretation was, and may I say, it's gorgeous. Like, it is gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I have to add, holy crap on this detail, man. The leaves, the stones, like, you put so much work and detail into the textures on these things. Like, my favorite part is definitely those stones. The blue and the green stones. You've taken the time to like have like the different depths in the stones, and I don't know if you were using reference for each stone, but that's what it appears like. Like you were actually looking at something to create these stones because they're so 3D. They are amazing. I must say, before I get too much further, and I forget to say this, Blend, you have grown so much as a digital artist in such a small amount of time. We were looking at your traditional art and saying how much it looked like digital at one point, and now I'm looking at your digital and questioning if it's traditional because, you know, you've come so far in traditional that, like, you've got us guessing, and when I first look at this piece, I'm like, is this traditional or is this digital? The only thing that really gave it away, to be honest, was the background, the temple. That's the only thing that I really felt like just screamed one way or the other. But yeah, I'm in love with this piece. I'm so sad to hear that you work too small, because this would be an amazing print. You need to let us know if you're gonna try to print it and if the print quality is good. But what I really love about this piece too is that you have brought in a lot of culture to this character. Like the tattoos, like on the bottom part of the jaw, oh my gosh. Great attention to detail. It definitely, like Monk said, adds personality to this character. Like, I want to know his backstory. Like, I want to speak with this character, or at least be in its presence and see it. It's amazing. So, I mean, the jewelry and everything. When you first showed this piece, like, I was like, I want to put jewelry all over mine, and I was like, no. But I could say that I definitely was inspired by yours, and I made different choices with mine being inspired by yours. So same to you, like, you inspire me. So I'm glad to hear that we inspire you, because like it goes both ways, and you're amazing too, my friend, and I don't know what I'd do without you either. So thank you for putting that beautiful note in there, and I'm glad you can't see my face right now. Alright, let's get to what chat has been saying. Let's see, Jesus says Blend Serpent knows it's the shit because of the attitude. Did I miss some? Let me go up though, because I think I missed some. I think we were gushing over Blend's art, and I think we missed some stuff. Oh, we did. Oh, look at all this. Flat Rabbit says exceptional use of blue and greens with a rich purple-red accent. Jesus says, holy hell, Blend. I'm in love with this piece, so gorgeous, and I love the addition of decoration slash jewelry. Oh, and Jesus says the feeling's mutual. See? Jesus agrees. You're the bomb, Blend. Let's see, Felicia says, Blend, he has such an awesome look. I really like how he's checking you out from above. Maybe drawing size is small, but he still looks huge, like you are in an Aztec cellar trying to hide from him. Nice. And Blend says, it is a lighting through the trees. I have to take off that layer and show you what I mean at one point. Oh, I see. Okay. So I'm glad that I noticed that it was a lighting through the trees then. Guess what? Oh, dang. Blend has a red bubble, guys. Guys. So you got a red bubble. Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, so let me click on this so I don't lose it. Number one. And you're selling the print. Yay. Okay, well that's what I was asking about. Yeah, a store with the loot emo from Monk. I love you guys. Thank you for all the kind words. Yeah, well, it's true, Blend. I kind of want a travel mug for myself. Oh, hell yeah. I want a mug. Right now I'm drinking out of Otterman, and my daughter was like, why do you like drinking out of that mug? And I'm like, because it's hilarious. And she's like, She's sick. She doesn't get it. It's freaking hilarious. I need to get some more Monthly Myth mugs. Alright.
I'm proud of you for choosing to keep growing as an artist, Blend.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are jumping into digital and you're jumping out of your comfort zones. It's amazing.
Jesus.
Quiet
Hey,
himself.
Ocean Wave.
Hi, ocean wave. Okay, so we ready for the next one? The next one is Nin players. You ready? We ready? We ready? Okay.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Fancy.
I'm gonna let you read this one because I tried to do a little bit of reading, and if I remember right, no. There's a little bit of hard words in here, but the one I'm really scared of reading is not here yet. But I'm gonna make you read that one too. Hee hee. So if you can read, if you can read Nins, that'd be amazing.
This is by Nin Player, and since I'm reading, if you could do the shout out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Quetzalcoatl and the Ant is the title. I used watercolors. I could have done a feathered serpent, but Quetzalcoatl is more than some fancy serpent. He has power over the wind. He is one of the gods to create humans. In this case, he was the one to create humans for the 5th time. Before the gods were happy with the creation of humanity, he also is the bringer of knowledge and is still used today in Mexico as a symbol. So far, for this myth, I went with one of the stories about the discovery of corn. With the creation of humanity came worship of the gods, but then the people began to weep, for they were hungry, and animals weren't in abundance. So the gods tasked Quetzalcoatl with finding the people food. In his search, he spotted a little red and carrying a little red ant carrying a grain of corn, and asked the little ant where she had found it. The ant refused. After pleading with the ant, she agreed to guide him to where the ant found the grain. Quetzalcoatl transformed into a black ant, and in the company of the red ant, made his way toward the mountain Tlaloc. Tlaloc, mountain of abundance. Many gods in the past attempted to rip open the mountain, but Quetzalcoatl, being a god who was more powerful than them, wouldn't have been a problem, but instead he used something more powerful, his brain. He didn't want to harm the grains, so him, being an ant, made his way inside the mountain, took a grain between his teeth, and began his journey back. He would show humanity how to grow the grain. That is cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is the word that Dead was apparently throwing me under the bus to pronounce. Tlaloc.
Yeah, I saw the word and I panicked.
Tlaloc is how I'm gonna pronounce it, and that's probably wrong. But I love the Force perspective on this, and how, again, the flow and the combination of how everything works here is just really well done, and I would love to know if this is a traditional piece. It looks traditional, and I'm assuming it's traditional.
Watercolor.
Watercolor. It's very beautifully done. And the thing that I'm going to talk about most for this one, aside from composition, is the understanding of how to add focal points along with contouring the perspective. So not only is everything looking in the direction of that mountain, and then all of the blades of grass actually flowing in that direction, but if you pay attention to the edges, and Nin has shown their understanding of how to do this many ways. In his Mothman piece, the way that he did this was he had everything blurry, dark, and undetailed the further you got away from the center. For this piece, the method they used was to use desaturated colors on the outer edge and then use super saturated colors when they got closer to the focal point. So just another way to create focal points, and it's just awesome. I love watching people work who have really sound understanding of elements of design.
I have to say, with this piece, like I'm really excited about this piece because when I first saw it, I was like, wait, that's not a snake. Which I guess is probably a common, like, wait, but I really like that this captures that story that you told so well. So well. As Monk was reading the story and I was looking at this image, it felt as if like I was listening to a children's book or something like where the image really did match. This is a snip from like this story, and there's no question about that. You have the ant pointing at the Hill of Abundance. You have the Quetzalcoatl looking very snazzy, must I say, in Aztec type wear, but obviously a black ant. So then we see that this ant is different. So we know exactly which one is the Quetzalcoatl. But then we've got these, like this motion. You have a really good control in where you're forcing our eyes to go. Not only is the ant pointing at the hill, you have all of these grass blades pointing as well. So they're pulling from like the bottom and pulling our eyes to the top of that Hill of Abundance. When we're looking at the ants, the grass blades that are behind them are also pointing there. So you are drawing our eyes right there. So great attention, great storytelling, like that kind of movement. Like we feel what the ant is pointing at. We know what the ant's pointing at. We're not questioning, oh, like, well, is it pointing at the mushrooms right there? No, it's because the grass blades and everything else that you are using tells us exactly. Without even reading the story, we know what it's pointing at. I have to add that, wow, you're getting very impressive, like, with these watercolors. I can't stop staring at the red ant's butt, and like it looks like the sun is beating down on this insect, and I don't know if anyone else is like this. I'm very observant, and I like watching animals and plant life and just in general just sitting there and kind of absorbing, and this kind of feels like when you see a red ant, like when it's in the sun. So it was just captured very, very well. Not sure if you used reference, but just gorgeous. So yeah, great work. And huzzah! So let's come over here and see what people have to say. So Blend says, oh wow, that is watercolor. I thought this was digital at first. The colors look so vibrant and the perspective on this piece is just amazing. Great job, Nin. And yeah, Nin is currently streaming right now as well, guys. If you want to pop in and tell him that you've seen his art and it's amazing. So yeah, he's currently streaming, so just to give you guys a heads up. Evolution says, I have a feeling the close-up here is actually in motion. Awesome work. The details are very cool. Jesus says, awesome job on the unique take on the myth. The POV is really cool. And I'm trying to figure out what the POV is. I'm sorry. Is that an acronym? I'm sorry.
Point of view.
Point of view. Ah, acronyms get me every time. The point of view is really cool, and great job on the shine on the ants, and I love the paint and the headdress. Well done. Alright. Yeah, it's a very cool piece. And Nin loving, like I said, the traditional art for sure. I'm glad that you got back into traditional. Okay, so the next piece is spiders. And Monk, I don't know if you're doing something right now, but oh no.
What?
Did I not get all? Oh, okay, it's short. I can try. I think this is in a different language, honestly. I think that Spider likes trolling the crap out of me because this looks like a different language. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to spiders. I'm gonna attempt to read this. I don't know. Do you want to try to read it? I don't know.
The text is Naruto.
Oh.
Search Aztec translator.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna make us translate with a. We had to do that last time too. He's been having us use a translator.
First, I'm gonna put you all through the pain of you hearing me
try to read
and
it,
probably pronounce it all wrong. Yep. Inin kuaitul onekue se iconic character Eon redrew Iku si Yonkuik outfit Lukoa Ana Oso Quetzalcoatl Pia Axon Ako Taka Omo Kuapa Telaka Pika Se I Tio Utu Ik separate companies Ieka Nikan Kano rendition amo exua illicitly anoso progressing in sasanalili in kau itil. Alright, now let's translate it.
Okay, which I did. Weird. Oh no. This is going the wrong direction. I need to translate it the other direction. Oh my god, use Google. I tried to use a translator and it— oh, there it goes. Those you— oh no, not all of it translated over. I wonder if you used a different translator than I'm using. Did you find a better translator than mine? Because it didn't translate all of the words.
I'm just gonna do the I'm just gonna guess. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so the one that the translator that I'm using, it says these you mel und a iconic character and drew eco a new Euphid la snake, which will mean Quetzal snake, have got already. It will turn into a will goddess by two separate will company. So here he will my rendition. Wow, this is rough. My Dr. Papper, which will mean progressing the story these yeah. Wow. Let me know if you got a better translation. You know, I wonder if he translated it and then if he translated it again to make sure that it accurately translated. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that sometimes, like, when we translate from English to something else, that when we translate back, things get lost, kind of like a game of telephone. But I got the gist. I'm thinking that he's made this iconic character, and that it turns into a goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his rendition. Okay. My doctor paper, which will mean progressing the story. Well, if he was here, he could help us. Will Spider, how does translate? Yeah, so if you guys don't think that I'm crazy, like, this is what it's translating to. Yeah, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. I tried, see? See, I tried.
Yeah.
But yeah. Spider likes to troll us with the translating, which, you know, it's kind of fun. Like, it makes it a little bit more, interactive, and I think it's a cute touch, Spider. I do. You had us do it last stream, and like this one, you know, this, like, I think last time it translated a lot better than this time. But I think as Aztec language is a little bit different now. We've got a lot of different words that probably they don't have good translations for, in retrospect. So I really liked, Spider, that you were able to make a waifu with this one. I don't know if this was on purpose, but she's got a face, like, in between, like, on her chest there, like, it looks like a face. And I don't know if that was on purpose, but I see that and I like that. I like her horns and her headdress. Definitely waifu material. Since that is your goal, you're definitely achieving that. I'm liking her snake tail. Definitely feel like you're making a group of OCs from these challenges. I'm a big fan of swirls. And you use swirls in your bushes, and then you also use, like, swirls but they're more geometric, like in the clouds, by using an eraser to erase away. And I always think that's a really cool touch. I'm addicted to swirls, especially geometric swirls. I don't know what my deal is. But yeah, loving this, and I think this is another successful waifu.
I'm enjoying reading chat at the moment. But Spider. I was complimenting you during the last stream. Like, not the last myth reveal, but the last stream. I was complimenting you on how well you're doing with your experiments. That pyramid is dope, homie. I am looking forward to seeing how much more you develop your perspective, and I love your environments. Keep on working on your environments. I need environments, please. Everyone, make one right now for my eyeballs. No, I'm kidding. But I just love it. And with what Dead said about using a eraser as an additive tool rather than using an eraser as a reductive tool, I think that is very beautiful, and I think that it turned out really well. And your anatomy and posing just keeps on getting better and better. And if I must say, I do really enjoy that you draw a variety of body types. I think that is a good thing. I like that.
Do you want to read chat? Since you were laughing at chat, I would love to have you do that.
Let's see. So, starting with Becca. What? That was for the translation. Evolucia says, she is super cute, and I really like the way she is checking you out. Awesome work again. Yeah, that is a good point, Evolucia. Sometimes when artists draw a character breaking the fourth wall it can be awe. But the way that Spider did it, it turned out really well. Jesus says, beautiful piece in multiple ways. Love the usage of the Aztec spirals in the trees and sky. Every time I just imagine what these great drawings would look like colored. I do too. I hope someday that Spider starts experimenting with colors. Blend says, anyways, with that Yeti emote, love her design and the jewelry she is sporting, plus the background is so soft, and seeing the spirals in the sky is a great touch. Zeus has added, I forget to include pronunciations, they're rough.
Yeah.
Becca said that did make her giggle. Spider was drinking a Dr. Pepper. Yep, give me environments. Becca says, I love the waifu look. Fourth wall was just that the character is looking at the person looking at the art.
Yeah, the fourth wall is usually where the camera would sit. So if you think of a wall that is a square, I mean like a room that's square, you would have to pick one wall to use the camera. So when they talk about the fourth wall, it's talking about looking into the camera. Which is usually supposed to be a big no-no in film because it breaks that fourth wall. It makes you aware of the camera, and it makes you aware that this is not in the storytelling. So that's why it's usually like almost like taboo to break the fourth wall in art and film and animation. So that's what the fourth wall is. Okay.
Did I miss anyone? Boop.
Yeah, when Deadpool talks to the audience, exactly, because then you're aware that there's a filming taking place and a camera, and it breaks that reality of the storytelling. Exactly. Blend, that's perfect. Alright, so let's see who's next. The next one is Jesus's. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the music.
Yay! I'm gonna mute myself. I'm excited!
Alright, let's jump into this. Okay, so now we're gonna turn it down. And then I'm gonna read what Jesus has said. Okay, so this, he said the sorry, I am gonna mess this up. Kakluken. Wait. So that's the title. Let's see, and I totally screwed that up, I'm sorry. Kaklukent. Wait. So instead of can, it's can't. I see the pun. I see what you did there. No, you're okay. You're okay with the loud roar. Of the various forms of the feathered serpent god, I decided to go with the Mayan version, the Kakluken. My piece was inspired by a specific story. Kakluken is a boy who was born a snake. As he grew older, it became obvious that he was the plumed serpent, and his sister cared for him in a cave. He grew to such a size that his sister was unable to continue feeding him, so he flew out of the cave and into the sea, causing an earthquake. To let his sister know that he was still alive. The sculpt is made from Sculpty and held together with metal rings. It's colored with Sharpie brushes, and the backgrounds was made in a sprite. The music this time was made with my Yamaha keyboard. Yay! Really had fun with this one. Thanks again, Dad. So to start off here, Jesus, I'm gonna let it kind of play a little bit to start again. My first interpretation of this, and don't get me wrong when I say this, like, this feels so art film festival, like it's not even funny. This is the kind of stuff that I would see when I would go to an art gallery, and this be on the screen at the galleries. This is a really cool piece here. You've got some abstract type animation in the backgrounds. I know it's the sea, but it feels very abstract still. And I think it really works with this piece, and that's why I feel like it's very film festival-like. I love that you're experimenting with different animation types, and that you are jumping into editing and pushing yourself in that way. The sculpt itself is really cool. I like that you used the circles, I'm sorry, the keychains, to link everything together. I thought that was kind of a cool touch. Really cool concept here. You've got the 4 wings as well. So it looks like that's, yeah, with the headdress. So that, I think that's what Autumn was saying, is that the Kakluken has the 4 wings. Really cool color choices, and I'm loving the music too. It's very tribal feeling, and I haven't really heard Mayan type music before, but to me it has a very Mayan feel. Is that something that you looked up to see, like, what the vibe of Mayan music sounded like, or is this just something that you went with more tribal? And yeah, great work. Great storytelling. Monk, did you want to add anything?
The rumor made me poopy my pants.
What?
The roar, it made me poop my pants.
Oh, it was too loud.
Yeah. But the first thing I wanted to point out is, yay, animated background. That's awesome. Yo, I don't know, that's exciting. But again, I feel bad that I'm obsessing over the background again, because I just love backgrounds. But there's a scene, or there's a level in Chrono Cross, and the level is, or the design of the level is based off of Van Gogh's art, and this background gives me the same vibes as that level. So inherently that means that this has Van Gogh vibes. So right? Audience here. I don't know, I love it. I can't stop. Like, and the fact that it's a clean loop, there's something about it being a clean loop that has very visual ASMR vibes for me. I could just stare at it all day. Kind of like how when I was a teenager I used to stare at my lava lamp forever. That's that's the what I'm getting here. And I just always adore the amount of work that clearly goes into it, and the fact that different techniques are being experimented with for each myth. You did things for this piece that you did not do last time, and I just look forward to seeing your future pieces, to see what new thing you're going to add, what new notch to your belt you're going to add. It's awesome. I love it.
Okay, do you want to reach out or should I?
Can you? My eyeballs are starting to...
Oh no, you're getting tired. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see. Let me make sure I'm starting the right thing. I think blend is the top, but let me make sure. And yeah, Jesus did apologize for the for how loud the roar was.
It was funny.
Yeah, Evolution movie time. Blend says, I love this so much. It came out of the cave and the music. Can we talk about the music? Okay, what noise does that? I don't know. I tried. See, when my face isn't showing, I do a little bit more weird things. Let's see.
Oh, you don't know the noise that turkey is making?
Oh, what does it make? And you were complaining about the roar. Everybody's poor ears.
Sorry.
No. I like your noise better. But anyway. Evolution says, oh, the mysterious vibe I got from the combination here. Love it. Great work, Jesus, as usual. I totally agree with that. And oh yeah, you made it. Welcome in, Kitty Neal. Let's see. And Lamenti Fresh says, thanks for having me. Okay. Okay, no worries. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Sean says 100% agree with you on your assessment about the Van Gogh vibe. Agreeing with you, Monk. Let's see. What was that? That was the turkey sound. That, you know, for your emote, the little turkey. I don't know, Blend doesn't sound like she agrees. Maybe we need to have her make a noise for us later. Or not later, just in general. Did we share Jesus's link tree yet? Let me make sure. Guys, go and follow Jesus in all the places. Go support him. He is also a Twitch streamer. So, and he does a lot of things for the month of October. Games and art. So definitely give him a follow and go see what's up and what he's working on. Okay, so I am going to pause this real quick. Turn our music back on. And then I'm going to jump to the next one. And the next one is... oh, it's mine. Okay. And, yeah, let's see. And hi Kitty Neo, and welcome in. Just wanted to say welcome. And, I think that we got a goodbye from Lamenti Fresh. Let's see, thanks for having me. Sorry I couldn't participate more. We are still glazing pumpkins. Glazing? Have to get them into the kiln tonight. Okay, so that's what I was reading earlier, but I was kind of distracted. So yeah, you have a good night, and thanks for hanging out. All right, so I guess I'm gonna read this thing, right? Okay, so mine is titled the Quetzalcoatl. That's the one I decided to go with, which is the Aztec one. I said this myth, being a serpent, represents the earth/vegetation. It represents its human nature or ability to creep on the ground among other animals of the earth. However, eventually Quetzalcoatl was transformed into one of the gods of creation. This creature is divine in nature and has the ability to fly to reach the skies above. The Quetzalcoatl has a dualism in it, as it is between worlds. I wanted to make a piece that represented not only this myth, but about how we have to start from a flicker or a spark. This myth was not in the beginning divine. I would like to think that it started with a seed, or like this drawing as a baby. That it didn't always tower over the temples of the Mayans or to be seen, or the temples of the Mayans or the Aztecs, or be seen as anything other than a normal snake in the beginning. We don't get to land where we want the first time we jump. We have to grow into who we want to be in our heart of hearts with time, acceptance, and self-love. Welcome in, Burning Palace! Thank you so much for the resub. Yeah, welcome in. We all have to start somewhere, and it takes time to develop into who one day we feel we should be. It's okay to see you are at the start of something and move through slowly, to not rush the growth, to make sure that you grow on towards the path you feel in your heart and intuition. So basically what I was trying to say, I'm gonna be less wordy and just more precise, that we just all start somewhere, that even if you are this huge like divine beast of some sort, you didn't start out that way. You know, we all start somewhere. You know, we say this to artists all the time. We're all in different levels of our growth. We're all in different areas of our growth, and that comes to, you know, healing from trauma and growing as an individual and self-love. Like, it's in everything that we do. We have to start somewhere, and, you know, just accepting that process and being okay with it, and just loving yourself and being a participant and, you know, in your own growth. Yeah, so that's why I chose to do this anyway.
I love this piece. I love the colors that you used. I know that you put a lot of thought into it, and you kept changing your mind about what colors needed to go where. I just love the amount of thought that you put into everything that you do, even when it comes down to the kind of colors that you end up choosing. Lighting is absolutely superb. I can see and sense that there's dimension to every single part of this creature, and I think that the story, the excerpt that you have added onto here is very beautiful as well. I think it's a good message, because this monthly myth, it means so much, and it means so many different things to people, but I think that's something that many people can agree on as to what the monthly myth helps us do, is to grow. And I think that a month is a very good time frame for people to test their growth, because 30 days or close to 30 days, that's a really good time frame for someone to experiment with new skills and learn something while still possibly being overwhelmed by life. and then get to put everything that they've learned into something at the end or beginning of that month. So I love the monthly myth, and I love what you've done with this particular one. And the succulents, I had no idea what a succulent was until you drew one. I love it. It's cool.
Thank you.
It's time to read chat. Everybody spoiled dead.
No.
Lamenti Fresh says, Jesus says, I try to avoid seeing any and all myths, but every time I see this, I'm blown away by the detail and colors. You do colors so damn well. Like ones earlier, it reads cute. Great scale work, and those succulents look succulent. Great message, says Zeus.
Yeah.
Blen says, dead. Where to begin? I always love how you draw wings. The glow on its back makes the succulents pop and really makes the piece flow nicely. The third eye flame, I'm glad you didn't change the color. It adds a sort of mysticism to it that I adore.
Aww.
Evolutia says, the colors, beautiful. The shading on him is also amazing. I also love the meshing behind your style. It's just awesome. Blen also added, I also love the fact that you tie in a great message with the myth. It gives the piece more meaning than what it already has interpreted through your art.
Aww.
Flat Rabbit says, gorgeous. And then Sean says, love the detail, especially on the scales and the eye. Yeah, the highlights on the scale, on each individual scale. I love it.
No, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to do one this month. It was really difficult, and I know that I didn't stream much, and I just thank you guys for being there, even when I had like a 20-minute delay when I was trying to stream this. Like, this community means so much to me, and yeah, and change is hard, but thank you so much for being supportive and accepting every step of the way.
Kidinia says it looks great. And hello, Dr. Witch Doctor.
You ready for yours? I think you're the last one, Monk.
No, I'm not ready.
You're not.
But that's okay.
Okay, pause the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this one's Monk's piece, and I'm gonna pause the music and then we'll begin.
I am so tired. I'm doing the best that I can. I don't want to fail. I'm so scared to fail. But as I stare into the mirrors of time and the reflections of space, there glimmers a soft echo of hope and self-awareness. The darknesses within our goodnesses and the lightnesses within our fear claw and war with one another, seeking to claim full hold of that arena. Endlessly will these sides of ourselves knot and twist into an apprehensive balance. How long did I crawl around in my petty wants to remain blind to the internal wisdom we all have? Oh, if only we can survive being still and silent in our own thoughts for just a moment.
Wow, I feel like I'm gonna have to watch this a few times to gather everything. Do you have like a written script at all of what you
I'm doing the best
what you
that
read
I can.
that you can share, or no? That's asking a lot, isn't it?
Want to fail. I'm so
But this is what Monk says. The title is Division. The quits. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You read it, Monk. Why am I reading it?
Reflections of space. There glimmers a soft echo of hope.
Did we lose you, Monk?
Self-awareness. The darknesses within our goodnesses.
Huh.
No, it's fine. You can read it.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. The Quetzalcoatl is my favorite mythology creature that is supposed to be like a dragon. The cool thing about this myth is that it is believed to be the creator of mankind. My life has been super hectic and I have very little time, but much like many other members of the community, I'll always make time for the monthly myth. Something that I always preached is to avoid saying, I don't have time for this and don't have time for that. I have trained myself to say I made time to do this instead of making time for that, taking full responsibility of all that I do. That's beautiful, Monk. Here's a link to Monk's link tree. Definitely check out all of this stuff he's got here. I guess I'm gonna jump in to talking about this piece. First off, the audio is it's one that I'm going to have to listen to several times because there's so much beautiful messages in what you've said here, and it very much resonates with me, and it's just something that I want to look into a little deeper. That's why I asked if you had a written one of it.
Yeah, I wrote it out before. Yeah.
If you want to share that, you can, but don't ever feel obligated to do so.
Seeking to claim full
just for the people that want it.
Of that arena.
Yeah. But yeah, I was still muted when I was trying to answer you.
Oh no.
And twist.
That makes sense.
Into an apprehensive balance.
But yeah, the piece here, I actually watched you work on this piece. I thought it was really cool that you know, because I had asked about this during stream. You drew the darker Quetzalcoatl holding the light, and then you have the lighter one holding the darkness. And I never actually realized that that's what the yin and yang is, that the darker part like holds the light and then the lighter part holds the darkness. And I really love that you brought that like yin and yang into this piece. And I learned something, and it was just so beautiful because not only does a yin and yang balance each other, but it's balanced within itself, which I never knew, but helps the rotation. So it caused me to look a little deeper, and you just have so much meaning in your pieces, so much beauty. I really love how you made the Quetzalcoatl so much bigger, than the temple. It definitely shows like these are divine beings, like they are bigger than big. Like they could
and the light
I don't know. It's just like the scale of these. They're huge. I love that you have them intertwined to kind of show like that balance between the two of them. I always love what you do with your backgrounds, and I saw like how much time you did in painting every single one of those stairs, painting all the bricks. So I'm glad that we have like a close-up of these two.
Did I crawl around in my petty wants?
I said this before, but I also love that the way you did their mouths, they don't have like the sharp teeth, that you have them like more like pushed, you know, not pushed in, but like, what is the word I used before? I know you said eels, and I can't get over what you said, eels, but that's not what I had said. You just said they look like eels, and I'm like, no, they don't look like eels.
Chapped.
Oh, yeah, like their lips are chapped, like they're aged, or they've been around for centuries, you know, that they're older. Older and wiser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just gorgeous. The sky, the stars. I could just keep going on about this piece. But I guess I'm gonna move to chat.
But
thank you, everyone, for the kind words I see.
Did you want to add anything? Since I read your piece, did you want to add anything before I jumped into chat?
Of hope and self-awareness.
Just
the darknesses within our goodnesses.
Just really think about
within our fear.
The impact it can make on your lives if you shift your the way you speak in terms of if you start to hear yourself, I didn't have enough time, I didn't have enough time. If you hear yourself saying that too much, really start to practice. I did not have time. I did not make time to do things. Versus I didn't have time to do things. It'll change your life.
And recognizing what you did make time for.
Yeah.
For just a moment.
Okay, so let me jump here. Witch Doctor says, bravo, holy shit. Flat Rabbit says superb. Jesus says bravo, getting last month and this month done. You had a lot going on. Oh, was that for me or was that for Monk? We both been crazy busy, so it could be either of us, to be honest. Monk, always making such great art, says Cadinio. I agree. Jesus says, love the duality and the figure eight pose. Gorgeous piece. Love the field and the pyramid. Well done, friend. Sean says, getting Dune vibes. The worms are the spice. I love the colors and the shading and details and the voiceover. The sky is amazing. Fantastic. Len says, damn Monk, I got goosebumps. The cool blues and soft grays is breathtaking. Your work has never ceased to amaze me. The words... Oh, sorry. And then Witch Doctor says, the words alone shift something in me, let alone the visual aspects of that creation. And if you want, Monk, I could do some mastering to your audio.
And silent in our own thoughts.
Well, that's awesome to offer.
For just a moment.
See, Evolutia says, again, sitting here and thinking about my life again, you always manage to add the perfect message that actually gets to me. The artwork, wow. The combination of the darkness and the light is just amazing, and the softness of the whole piece.
I'm doing the best that I can.
Glad that it meant something to you, Evolutia.
I don't want to fail.
And Witch Doctor says, thank you for sharing a part of your soul, brother. creation
But
is a part of this universe,
as I
and we
stare into
translate
the
and we
mirrors of time,
translate that into art.
into
Thank you so
reflections of
much.
space,
Is the dark and the light
there
in
glimmers a soft
the
echo
entire
of
painting
hope
a message in
and
itself?
self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
The darknesses within our goodnesses. And
Yeah, it's the duality, the yin and yang that everyone was talking about.
with one another.
And with what Dad said
seeking to
was the
claim
darkness.
full hold
The darkness
of
holds the
that
key to the light, and the light
endlessly
holds the key to the
these
darkness.
sides of ourselves
The
out
brighter the sun
into
shines, the more crisp
into
a
the
shadow is
apprehensive
cast.
balance. How long did I crawl around in my petty wants to
Alright,
remain
are we
blind
ready
the
to
internal
move to the
wisdom
next part?
we all have?
I'm ready to go to bed.
Oh, if only
Alright.
we can survive.
Yeah, I got an
being
alarm
still
going off. It's getting late for you,
and
isn't it?
silent in our own thoughts.
Okay, so let me...
And I have to drive for an hour in the morning.
Okay, well you can head out if you want. We're just gonna do the giveaway and the voting for the new one.
Oh,
So that's up to you if you want to hang out for that or if you want to take off.
nice. I'm gonna take off.
Okay. Well, good night, Monk. And, you know, if you want to, you can just drop off of Voice VC and hang out and chat for a bit as you pass out or whatever you would like to do. Sleep well. Okay, so now we get to the part where we get to vote on the next myth. So let's go ahead and do a challenge. Did I spell challenge wrong? There it goes. Ooh, Australian and British folktales. Azaloon bird. It's a bird. Bird. Birdie bird bird.
Burp.
Burb. You stuck around. Let's see.
What?
You're still here. I thought you left.
Yeah, I'm not. My business is not done. Heyo.
Monk tripped.
Just__monk donated $100, but
Don't forget to read the impactful message I added.
But is that what you added on there?
Plural.
Oh,
Or was it?
my
there was
bad.
an F?
Thank you for covering the gift card this month. That means a lot.
No worries, homie.
Homie. Home slice. I'm gonna stop. I was gonna say I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead, but I don't think that I don't think I'm ahead. Oh, look at the butts. See what you started?
Damn. That's $100 worth of butts right there. I'm going to bed before I say anything silly.
Alright. Night. Thank you again. You know you don't have to do that, but you are greatly appreciated.
Bye, everyone.
Ugh. Okay, so I am looking up this first mythology. This is the Uzalum bird. It's weird looking, guys. Look. What is that? What is that? I don't know that I like that. Do you like that? I don't know that I like it. I don't know. I don't know that I'm a fan. So, looking at the next one, so let's pull another 2. a moon rabbit. Moon rabbit. Chinese. I want to do a moon rabbit. Okay, let's check out this moon rabbit. I'm gonna have to read about this one for sure. Oh, interesting. And over the moon, they had a rabbit. I didn't realize it was a moon rabbit. But yeah, so here's our moon rabbit. So you guys are aware. There's the moon rabbit. And let's do one more. A Yakasha? What is that? Let's look that one up. Yakshini. Yakshini. A lot of nude pictures, with this one. Yakshini holds a flower and paddy cluster in her hands, which symbolizes the land and altar culture. The sculptures are designed by renowned sculptor, blah blah blah. There's a whole lot of, I mean, like, she's a nude goddess, and there's like tons of like nude work of her. Do we want to pull another one? Because I worry about TOS with this one. I mean, we can put clothes on her, but like it kind of pulls away from keeping true to the mythology. Like, what do you guys think? Yeah, I think you know, this is the first time that I've suggested scrapping one, but it's very, yeah, TOS would not be happy with me, and I can't even show any of the images online. Yeah, so let's try another one. Chupacabra. Hey, the Chupacabra came back. I know that Nin really wanted it, and then we didn't do it. You guys who know what the Chupacabra is, I'm sure. And this is the Chupacabra. Honestly, I always thought they looked like dogs with mange. They're so sad. The mangy dogs. Okay, so we got the moon rabbit. And then we've got the Uzulam bird. And this one. So let me minimize some of these so we can see all of them. Chupacabra. Do you guys need links? Are you capable? Because I can get links for people. I can get the wikis. The wikis. Okay, so there we go. So these are the ones we're voting on. I'm gonna start the poll. I'm biased. Oh, which one are you guys going with? You know which one you're voting for? Yeah, that's the first time that we've had one come up again. And it's random, so it's pretty exciting. Alright. Yeah, it's almost been 2 years. Has it almost been 2 years since we started the monthly myths? Yeah, because I started like 6 months into streaming, so I'm pretty sure that we're at 2 years of the monthly myth. Hey, Nin! Oh my gosh, Nin! Guess what we pulled? The Chupacabra is up for voting again. How are you, Nin? Okay, so let me make the poll. Why can't I find manage poll? New poll.
Narwhals swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion, cause they are so awesome.
Thank you so much for the raid. Nin, I hope your stream went well. Moon rabbits, which is Chinese. The Uzulum bird. And the Chupacabra. Chupacabra. Alright. I'm gonna set that to 5 minutes. Started the poll. And then we will do the voting thingy. Let's see, view results. I think I want the moon rabbit. That's what I want. I'm gonna vote. The moon rabbit seems fun. Oh, we've tied it. Oh my gosh, that puts the moon rabbit and the Chupacabra at a tie. Okay, so I'm getting ready to do the latch tools. And like I said, guys, I'm gonna try to do these gift cards as long as I can. Again, thanks to Monk for funding this month. Let's see. Okay, so exclamation mark passion, guys. You cannot have won in the last year. So, and that's your year. So you have to wait 12 months before you can enter again, from the last time you won. So if it's been 12 months, feel free to enter with exclamation mark passion, or you have, one thing I forgot to mention is you have to be at 25 hours viewing time for the stream as well. So if you haven't, if you're not following and you don't have your hours, then you might have to wait until the next stream. It went okay. Painted stuff. Well, I would love to see if you would like to share. You can spook up a bunny? Totally. Evolutia, do you... There you go. Ooh, it's reconnect. Okay, do that one more time, Evolutia. There was a problem where my bot wasn't connected. Try again one more time. I know, the Chupacabra, I definitely want to do the moon rabbit. But we don't have control. You mean bot? Yeah, you try one more time, Evolution. You're all in on the Chupacabra? Well, Nin's happy. Nin, you were so upset when it like first came through and people didn't vote on it. I remember that. You were like, no! So I could see that this is a way that it's, you know, this is the first myth to come up a second time. Like, and then you arrived right before the voting. Must be a sign. I mean, I voted for the moon rabbit, but oh no, you can't vote. Chupacabra is 5 to 4. And it's getting ready to end, guys. Like, we're at the very end of it. Chupacabra is winning by 1, guys. It's almost neck and neck. Okay, no worries, man. I added you manually. It's being a jerk. Oh my gosh! And someone sneaked in the last minute and voted Chupacabra, so the Chupacabra won 2 points ahead. So it was 6 to 4. So definitely a clear winner. Not the one I wanted, but hey, we'll do it. We will do it. I'm gonna make this decaying looking creepy thing. I mean, it sucks the blood out of what, I mean, like goats and sheep and stuff. I mean, let's not be too violent, TOS and all, but could be interesting. Could be interesting. I know, Blend, you and I are like, no, Moon Rabbit. Okay. Yeah, it came up again. Exactly. Exactly. It came up again. Must be part of it. Evolution, you are the clear winner. You're the only one that qualified and put in. So I don't know if you need to see the crazy animation. Maybe we'll do it just for fun. Evolution, let's see your name like fly by a million times. You ready? Who's gonna win? I think we know who's gonna win. I'm just being a ridiculous person right now. But yeah, Evolution, send me your email address in Discord. And then you will have to use the US Amazon, so you'll have to use the Amazon.com. The US one in order to use the gift card. And then I think the main thing is that you'll just have to like think about shipping as well. They don't like it when the Amazon cards are used in different countries, so they make it so you have to use the US site since we're doing it in US money. I hope that's not a problem. If it becomes a problem, let me know. I haven't had any problems so far with people that have won in other countries, but I'm ready for the first, so just let me know how it goes. Alright. Might have to make 2 versions and one of the off-stream. October. I know, right? Because the TOS, darn it. Thank you, no problem. Yeah, definitely on Discord, hit me up. But yeah, so the Chupacabra was the winner. So this guy right here. This guy. He's so creepy. He's so creepy. So what I normally do is I usually make the material and stuff for all the stream, and all that. I currently don't have a setup that I can also work, so I'm gonna go ahead and in-stream here. And I'll update the bot and everything on my own time, and feel free to keep me accountable if you see that I have not done it yet. The plan is to do it tomorrow after my CNA course work. So if I don't get it done, like, don't feel bad reminding me. I appreciate you guys keeping me accountable, and I love this community, and I don't want to forget. So, like, I just have a lot going on, guys. I'm so sorry. I think that's why I was saying at the beginning of stream, I'm just gonna use the icon from now on. My office is a mess, my life is a mess, and I feel like I can't even put on makeup before I jump on stream, or let alone comb my hair. So, like, I want to make time to stream, and I'm tired of beating myself up for not being perfect. So I'm just gonna jump on stream, and I'm gonna use this as a way. So I hope you guys don't mind my icon. It might be there for a few weeks while I do my CNA coursework. I'm just really overwhelmed right now, and I just moved. For those that don't know, big move, big changes, lots of things happening. Becoming a CNA, not going to stop streaming and doing art, just gonna have to make time, and this is one of the ways I'm gonna be able to do it, is to remove the stress of how I look. I worry about looking disheveled and all of that, and that's a stressor I just need to remove myself from, for now. And I'll try to look nice later. I shall yell until it's done. Okay, Zeus, thank you. Zeus is like, I got you. Hey, take your time with everything, Did. Oh, thank you. It looks like a weird looking cat. Oh yeah, the chupacabra, totally. I mean, I knew the lore, because, you know, growing up in the US, like, the lore is that they suck these animals dry, and, like, my mom used to watch these really creepy shows, like, about, monsters, and yeah, so for the longest time, I thought this thing was real, and it scared the poopy out of me. Oh great, Monk's got me saying poopy. Oh, I'm gonna have to yell at him for that later. Damn it, I said poopy. Lucky too, because I came in from a scrapped pole. Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like fate. And if you want to show your art, Nin, before we take off, please do. If you want to send that link into chat, and we can take a look at your stuff before we take off. I would have rather done the Jersey Devil. What is the difference between the Jersey Devil and the Chupacabra? Life, work, laptop breaking, I will get through it. Yeah, I feel you. I'm like sitting in like the most uncomfortable chair in a walk-in closet right now. And I'm so embarrassed because like the last time I streamed, oh no, I basically, the place was a disaster area because my mom decided to clean out the garage, which is where I put all of my stuff. And then like she had me like put it into the walk-in closet and like my bedroom that I was in because she wanted to clean out the garage. And then I like went to go stream and I was stepping on everything and it was so embarrassing. It was really embarrassing. And that's one of the reasons why, it's because I don't know where to put my stuff. Like I'm in this limbo of like, I moved in, but like all of my stuff is everywhere and I don't have a place to put it all yet. It's a weird limbo of like, hey, I'm here, but I have nowhere to put anything. I don't know. Oh, that's why the avatar is going to be helpful. When I was a kid and the chupacabra blew up on the medias, I had several shirts of the chupacabra drinking a goat with a straw. Is that what you're gonna draw? You gonna draw something like that? Yeah, it's so cool. Hope we vote on the moon rabbit again. I know, right? I'm sure it'll come back, just like the chupacabra. And one of the things that I'm gonna try to do is that if a mythology comes back, we can work on another one. I don't see us running out of mythologies for a while, especially since like more and more are being brought to my attention and added to the list. Because I used Wiki, but you guys have brought me other ones that weren't on that Wiki list. I mean, unicorns on there. We haven't even seen like a lot of the really generic basic type mythologies. Like I have vampire in there, like just the word vampire. And we haven't run into those either. Like, come on, where's the vampire? Jersey Devil is a half horse bat goat thing. Ugh. That's crazy. Mom, jeez, my room is a mess and I have no excuse besides laziness, so don't worry. Zeus. Instead, we got the Mandingle. Oh, I know, right? No vampire, but I mean, that was kind of vampire-like. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of a little much, like sucking pregnant ladies, like babies out. That was a little much. I mean, tell it to calm down a little bit. Loved that myth, so fun. Yeah, the Mandingle was hilarious, especially with a nickname like that. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out, checking people's artwork out. I was waiting to see if I was gonna get a link from Nin. Nin, if you want to just go ahead and drop it in the Discord, I would still love to see it, even if it's like not one that I'm showing on stream today. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and you guys are amazing, and I love all of your faces, and thank you so much for being supportive through all of this. Like I said, like the first stream that I did when I moved in, I had a 20-minute delay. The second stream, I walked away from the camera for 15 minutes, didn't even realize that I had accidentally started my stream because I was cleaning my desk and I accidentally hit the stream button. So yeah, that was fun. And you guys have just been very patient. I'm sure that you guys were even unsure if the reveal was even gonna happen today because how sporadic my streams have been. And I thank you all for being accepting and loving all the time. You guys have definitely been the main reason to why I have grown as much as I have over the past 2.5 years. You guys make me a better person and make me more compassionate for others. So, alright. I'm gonna send you to the end screen. I'm gonna, I'll go find someone nice to raid. You rock, Jesus. As long as you can promise us the monthly stream, I'll be okay with that, even if it's only once a month. Aww. Well, I'm hoping to do more than that, but yeah, I get it too. I don't want to give up on this. It means too much to me, and that's why I was like, I was unsure if I was even going to get the monthly myth done, and so happy I did. And honestly, I think it's one of my favorite pieces of mine, but I don't know, that and the Princess Mononoke one I did, I'm pretty proud of those so far. And I love it when there's a piece that I'm like, I'm not gonna have time to do it, and then I do one that makes me excited. Because that's hard, right? Thinking you're not gonna be able to do it, so you downsize an idea that you had, and it's not as cool as the idea you originally had, but it still turns out freaking awesome. That's, there's so much beauty in that, you know? Anyway, I'll stop rambling. It's on, it's in my top 3 favorite myths you have done so far. Aww. Now I need to know what all 3 of your top 3s. Oh, Oh! Nin shared a link. Let's check out the link again. I'm sorry, guys. I said where you're going, but let me check this out. Let's check out what Nin was doing. Nice, Nin! He feels so like Santa. Like he's so Santa-y. Are these other like, oh, it's the Easter Bunny as Frankenstein, the Leprechaun as the Mummy, Santa Claus as like a jack-o'-lantern, and we've got Cupid, I think, right here as a vampire. Oh, that's hilarious! This is so cute! I like this. Like, it kind of has like a fun vibe of like, they dress up too. Oh my gosh, I love this. Well, thank you, Nin, for sharing. Oh, easy, in no order, is the Quetzalcoatl, Shiva, and the Hydra. Hey! Hydra means a lot because that is the first stream I stumbled in on when you were working on it. Aww. Oh, that means so much, Blend. Yeah, you know, your Shiva is one of my top theories of yours too. And the Quetzalcoatl is definitely number 1. And I'm trying to think of your number 3. It wasn't the Mandingo. There was another one that I just like was super blown away about. What was it? Now I'm gonna have to search my thoughts. But yeah, there was another one that you did that I really, really liked. I still need to finish the Shiva. I know, right? You're putting me through pain. Every time I see I drive through, I mean like I dive through putting all of the new myths in there and I see your old Shiva and I'm like, I wonder if Blend's ever gonna finish it. Oh, it was your octopus one. That's what it was. It was your octopus one because that ship was fucking badass. And with the gold. There we go. So those are the 3. Alright, I'm sending you to the end screen before I keep talking your ears off. Love you guys! I will see you guys again on Saturday, and I'm just gonna keep using the icon when I'm too stressed out. I might find some time to do myself up and make myself look nice and all. But I think that what I'm gonna do is just keep doing this to relieve some of that stress in the beginning, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, you guys are amazing! Bye! Thank you for being here.